Welcome back to Yoga Express. My name is Banu Suresh, and I have a wonderful, wonderful special guest one more time, Jill Camera. Jill, we are going to, in a couple of moments, I would love to go right back into the stretching. You got me so hyped up yesterday. I have to feel that high again. Very briefly, Jill is a yoga teacher and she teaches in New York City. So if you want to contact her, go through the website www.yogasutranYC.com. Jill is director of Vinyasa program at Yoga Sutra, and she is one of the best. I love training with her. We air. Yoga Express is Monday through Friday on Time Warner 57, RCN 84, and FiOS 35. Jill, I am already totally hyped. Would you take me through the sequence? And then I had some questions for you again.
Perfect, Banu. Yesterday we went right into the sun salute. So if you wouldn't mind, today I'd like to show the viewers a little bit of prep before we go into our sun salute. So I'm going to ask you to start on your hands and knees.
Okay.
This is not a fancy name, hands and knees, or all fours. So what I'd like Banu to do is get her spine, shall we say, warmed up. So on an inhale, she's going to lift her head and her chest. These are called cat-cows or chakrokasana. And then with an exhale, she's going to round her back like a Halloween cat shape, dome the back, beautiful breathing. Look at her navel. Good. And then with an inhale, once again, she's going to lift her head and her collarbones up. Beautiful. And with her deep, full exhale, she's going to dome the back. Now, Banu, do a few of those with your own breath count. We didn't talk about this yesterday, but you'll notice you can hear Banu's breath, which is a wonderful, wonderful breathing technique that Banu does gorgeously. This is called Ujjayi Pranayama. She's letting the breath glide at the back of her throat so that she feels almost a rubbing sensation there. That's allowing the breath to come into this wonderful ocean wave sound. It's allowing her to focus on the breath, to have a little bit of a meditative quality to the practice. I should say a little, a lot. And then she's also able to envelop the movements with the breath. So the sound is her cue. She's also able to control the breath a little bit more with this technique.
If you don't tell me to stop, I'm going to keep going. I'm getting addicted.
Okay, Banu, after your next exhale, you're going to come back to neutral spine. Good. And actually, you can do those all day. From here, you're going to bring your knees as wide as your sticky mat. Let your sitting bones go back down towards your heels and stretch your fingers towards the front of the mat. So we're coming into a variation of child's pose, also known as balasana. Banu's stretching the whole size of her body. She's reaching her fingertips towards the front of the mat. She's feeling secure with the sitting bones anchoring down towards her hips, so she gets that nice stretch and extension through the sides. Now, she's going to keep her hands right where they are. She'll come back up to her hands and knees. So go ahead and do that, Banu. She can bring her knees a little bit underneath of her now, curl the toes under, and she'll press up and back into downward facing dog. This is sometimes called upside down V pose. Excellent. Her hands are shoulders distance apart, her feet hips distance apart. And again, she has that beautiful sonorous Ujjayi breathing technique. Again, that nice rubbing sensation at the back of the throat. Now she's going to lift her head a little bit, and she's going to step her right foot forward between her hands, coming into low lunge position. Again, because of Banu's flexibility, she was able to get right down to it. If for some of us that are a little tighter, perhaps you might want to drop the back knee down first, or even start on all fours, step the foot forward, or even just pick the foot forward if it doesn't make it. Good. And then she's going to ground her palms and step it back into a downward facing dog.
That's not happening today.
Okay.
Oh, downward facing? Sorry.
Yeah, oh yeah, downward facing. Where did you think we were going?
Oh, no, I thought you said ground. Sorry.
She thought I was going to do something very advanced, but we're not. We're going to keep it nice and simple today. So go ahead and step now your left foot forward between your hands. So this again is called low lunge position. Bono's letting her hips go a little bit closer to the earth, which is nice because she gets that deep stretch all along the front groin area. Excellent. And then she's going to plant her hands and step back, downward facing dog with the exhale. Again, she's moving with the breath, so it has that nice, beautiful dance-like flow. Once again, she's going to step her right foot forward between her hands. Nice. Now, if it's comfortable, she's going to come a little bit forward, let her left hand ground, and pick up her right arm. So can you come into a little bit of a twist there?
Let me try.
There we go. That's it. Nice. And then exhale the hand down and step back, down dog. So again, we're warming up the spine and the muscles that go along the spine. Other side, of course, left foot will step forward. She'll come a little bit up with her hips, but she'll plant that right hand firmly and then reach her left arm up. So this is called lunge twist. No big surprise there. Beautiful. And then bring the left hand down and step back to a downward facing dog. Excellent. Bono, can you walk your hands a little bit back towards your feet? And even more so that you come to hang over your legs?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Good. And then she's going to bend her arms and hold on to opposite elbows. She'll let her head and her neck relax here. One of the greatest benefits, I think, of a yoga practice is we get to release and relax in the postures, the asanas. And then she's going to change the cross of her arms. We always work towards symmetry when we practice. What we do on one side, we do on the other. And you can see how that's making a beautiful, long extension of Banu's spine, letting the energies flow inside and out. And then Banu, release the fingertips back to the floor, and then she's going to walk back into a downward facing dog once again. Nicely done. So that was I would say basic and fairly, I don't say easy, but a nice general way to warm up before our sun salutes. So from here, Banu's going to walk her feet forward between her hands, and now she's going to hang over her legs at the top of her mat. Again, take some deep breaths here, allowing her head and neck and throat to relax. Yes, you're in good shape here. And then she's going to soften her knees, tuck her chin in, and she's going to softly roll herself up to stand. She's going to take her time. Again, she'll start to separate a little bit and then reintegrate the muscles throughout the back until she brings herself up to a standing position.
Ooh, that feels great. That's wonderful.
Very nice. So now we're good to go, I think, with the sun salutes, because we've prepared the body in its various posturing to accommodate what will come next with maybe a slightly quicker pace. Doesn't have to be, but could be.
Right. It's also wonderful how I never remember to do the twist, and you did that too.
The twist is nice. It's a nice action on the spine.
Very nice.
Yeah. And again, one of the hallmarks of vinyasa is they call it flow, but we like to, at some point in the class, come into a nice rhythm. Of course, the breath has its own rhythm, and then we coordinate that with the movements. So here we are again, and Banu's in her beautiful Tadasana, her mountain pose. This is also called Samastiti, equal standing. Her left and right sides of the body are equally weighted towards the floor. She's reaching up towards the space and sky, and at the same time relaxing the shoulders down the back. So with an inhale, I'm sorry, Rob, let's back up a little bit. We're going to do one more warm-up for the shoulders. You're going to bring your arms straight out in front of you, and now go ahead and interlace the fingers. And then you'll simply turn your palms forward. Now, this is good enough stretch as it is, but if we want to go a little deeper, she'll try inhaling her arms up overhead. That's it. So this stretches the side body, wakes up the shoulder area, and you can even see it enlivens her wrists.
Right.
Inhale a deep breath, and then exhale, bring those hands back down. Beautiful. Again, she's enveloping all the movements with the breath. But now, since we do everything both sides, you're going to bring your arms out again. Now, everyone has a familiar pattern.
I can't remember which one.
You know what? I always say, do it the way that feels weird,
Right.
and then you know you're doing it
Got
the
it.
opposite way.
Okay.
Good. And then press the palms forward, and then inhale the arms up
That's
to
a
the sky.
wonderful tip. I have to remember that.
Yeah. And this is a wonderful, again, way to wake up the body, to enliven parts that we generally don't use throughout the day, I guess you could say. And then inhale a deep one, and exhale, lower the arms down. Vis-a-vis the changing of the patterns, you know, yoga helps to really change up mind patterning for the better. Some of these habits that we get stuck in can really use sometimes a little breaking up, and that frees up that energy for greater power.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm ready. Wow.
All right. So
that was a workout. Now
yes,
I've got more.
Yeah, now you have more.
Lovely.
And we're going to now move into the sun salutes, which I said are rather concise, repeatable vinyasa sequences.
Right. Can I lose weight if I do it 100 times?
No,
don't
I'm going to say yes. How about that?
Oh, wow.
So, yes. Again, yoga, all good things happen with a yoga practice. So if you need to lose weight, that most likely
The
will
body
happen.
will tell me.
Yes,
Right.
the body will come into a good place. So go ahead and inhale, reach the arms up overhead, palms together, gaze soft at the thumbs, and then exhale, fold yourself forward into standing forward bend, Uttanasana. Beautiful. Take that inhale to jackknife up, to come halfway up, breathe in, prepare, and then exhale, ground your palms firmly on the mat. Now this gives you the stability. Inhale, step your right leg back into a lunge, and then exhale the hips up, downward facing dog. Excellent. So step your right foot forward with your inhale again. Step your left foot forward. Use your inhale to come up to stand, reach the arms out and up. And then exhale, arms by the sides. We'll do the other side. Inhale the arms up. Breathing in, beautiful. Exhale, folding over. Nice actions. Inhale, flat back, prepare, fill up. And then exhale, ground your palms. Take the inhale, step your left leg back. Exhale, right leg back, down dog. Good. Couple of breaths here, stabilizing. Notice how the arms and the legs support the spine so that it remains neutral and free and that energy can flow. Go ahead and inhale your left foot forward when you're ready. Exhale your right foot forward. Inhale, come on up to stand, reach the arms out and up. And exhale, arms by the sides. Samastiti. Beautiful. So are we okay to add on?
Absolutely.
Excellent.
I'm addicted. Claudia, let us know when we have about 5 minutes. I did have a few more questions for Jill.
Okay. Inhale, reach the arms up. You're doing great, Banu. It's so much
Thank
fun
you.
again. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, rock up to prepare.
It's like being in your classroom, except this is virtual. Now we get to share it with everyone.
Right. Exhale, ground the palms. Sharing all the good stuff. Inhale your right leg back.
Absolutely.
Exhale, hips up, downward facing dog. So it's from this position mainly that we can add on from. So today, we're going to roll forward to a plank position. So Banu's going to come forward. Her shoulders will be over her wrist.
This.
That's it. And exhale back. We're just going to use it as a little bit of a, again, breath with movement. Excellent. Inhale, roll forward. Now, Banu has to use her front body to support her back body. Beautiful. Exhale those hips up, down dog. Look at that. And last time, inhale, roll forward to your plank position. So she's actually using her core strength to support her, and exhale back, downward facing dog. Well done. Take a couple of breaths here, and then when she's ready on her next inhale, her right foot will step forward. And then her left foot will come forward. With her inhale, she'll reach her arms up to the sky. And with the exhale, arms by the sides. Very nice.
Feeling nice and limber on this side.
Good. So we're going to do the other side.
Me,
No worries there. I mean, sometimes I forget the other side.
No. I wanted to remember.
Yes.
I can feel the difference.
You can feel the difference.
Yeah.
And that's another nice thing about a yoga practice. You become much more aware of your body, which is a good thing.
That's what they mean about your body talking to you, right?
Yes. It's your body talking in a good way in yoga.
Yeah.
So go ahead and inhale the arms up again, our sun salute. Exhale, fold over. Inhaling, rocking up to prepare to fill up with energy, and then exhale, plant the palms. Inhale, step your left foot back. Exhale, right foot back, downward facing dog, hips up, head down, beautiful. Inhale, roll forward to your plank, and from here you're going to do knees, chest, chin. So this is in our 48, so the knees will come down, chest, chin come down to the floor. Then she's going to inhale and slide forward into a beautiful low cobra position. Oh,
Are
lovely.
my elbows okay?
Yes, perfect. Curl the toes under. She's going to press up and back into her downward facing dog. So now we're getting into a little bit more deep actions of the spine. Let's do that again because it just was so lovely. Inhale, roll forward to a plank, flowing so nice and smooth. She's going to exhale her knees, chest, and chin to the floor. Notice she inhales to slide forward into her low cobra, Bhujangasana pose, and then she's going to curl the toes under and press up and back, downward facing dog. And let's do it one more time. Inhale, roll forward to a plank, knees, chest, and chin to the floor. She's going to slide forward into her low cobra and press up and back into downward facing dog. So again, we were talking a little yesterday about the chakras slightly, little bit. Banu, go ahead and step your left foot forward between your hands. Right foot comes forward, Uttanasana. Press into the feet. Inhale, reach the arms up to the sky. Lift up.
Up. Should I go sideways?
Exhale, arms by the sides. Well done.
Thank you. That reminded me of some. You know how we did 3 plank positions, and typically, at least in North America, I think it's more like a military punishment, right? Doing the push-ups. There is something, actually, we should talk about in one of the episodes if we have a chance, is something called super brain yoga, where they used to do the squats. In India, that's typically a punishment. You hold the opposite earlobes and you go down.
And is it part of
when you go down. It's actually
puja
considered
too?
a punishment, but apparently it's called super brain yoga because it activates your nerve endings in the earlobes, the acupuncture points.
You know, Banu, I just read about that this morning. It's a special time from August 15th to September 15th.
Right.
As far as starting fresh, and I don't want to say, I'll say it in Western terms, maybe incorrect interpretation, but kind of a doing penance for any infractions.
It is literally a penance. In India, when someone wants to punish you,
I just read.
or parents actually want to punish you, they ask you to do, we call it Topikaranam in Tamil. You hold the opposite earlobes and you got to exhale. Of course, you find the technique, but they don't tell you the technique. For them, it's a punishment. So it's like, you have to keep doing that. And it's not easy just doing it once. Even
Sure.
We were, depending on how naughty we've been.
Interesting.
If you're really terribly naughty, it could be even 20, 30 of those.
Wow. Okay, that would be a punishment. But this morning I was just they didn't say a number, but they said it was part of a puja or
It's a penance.
ablution.
It is.
Yeah,
It
to start fresh for the new season or new year.
Well,
Isn't that
even when
something?
you go to the temple, you might notice some of the men and women, they hold their opposite earlobes. If you go to a Hindu temple, and they just go halfway. It's very difficult being done all the way.
Right.
It's like a token.
Yeah.
But just holding the earlobes is supposed to activate, the left earlobe activates the right side of the brain.
Right.
The acupuncture points in the right earlobe activates this side. And I didn't know, when I was young, you do it.
And it was your...
Why do I have to do that? Because you've been naughty.
Yeah, and I wonder if it has to do, too, with the brain action. It clears out the old patterning of being naughty.
Probably.
And allows you to be very nice.
That's a nice, I never thought of it that way. For me, it was, why do I have to do this? But, life falls in place.
Yeah.
So I'm ready. Are we...
Yes,
I had a few questions for you.
Sure, I think, do you feel okay? Do you want to rest?
Fantastic.
Okay.
No, I feel
Very
great.
good.
I feel great.
It is a very energizing
Oh, it
practice,
is.
the sun salutes, and
I'm already
well done.
supercharged, Jill. I love it. I love it. I was very curious also. You were talking about, you teach at Yoga Sutra and you're the
Yes.
director of their program, of their Vinyasa. Program. What is the philosophical lineage at, you said it's Krishnamacharya?
It's Krishnamacharya.
At Yoga Sutra?
At our school, we
Help us understand, what is that when you talk about it? I want to talk a little more, I want you to talk a little more about that.
in a nutshell, Krishnamacharya was a great yoga master. He was born in 1888, and he passed at, I believe he was 103 years old.
Wow.
And he's considered to be the father of what we call modern yoga.
Right.
But also a master, a grandmaster of all the ancient studies and traditions. So he studied yoga, Sankhya, which is a sister philosophy,
Right.
even Nyaya, Vedanta, all the various philosophies, and tried, I read several biographies, tried so grandly to pass these teachings on because he had a feeling that as modern times went, they were going to possibly be lost.
Mutilated, yeah,
Yes.
or mutilated
Or
after
mutilated.
a while.
So his main students were his, turned out it was his son-in-law, BKS Iyengar, who's,
Oh, I didn't know that.
oh yes,
This Iyengar is a son-in-law.
son-in-law,
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
And his son, Desikachar,
Desikachar.
TKV Desikachar, and Sri K. Patabi Joyce, who went on to teach some of the first Westerners that, Krishnamacharya taught Westerners also,
Right.
but it was really the, shall I say, hippies during the 60s and 70s that were going over to India to experiment with a lot of things.
Right.
But luckily, they found this style of yoga that Patabi Joyce was teaching, Ashtanga, and started to bring it back.
Fortunately for yoga, they brought it back here. That's
They
good.
did. Yeah. So he. So at our school, we teach those three styles. Desikachar, which is a little bit more vinyasa krama,
Right.
incorporates pranayama, chanting within the classes. Doesn't move as steadily into a flow throughout the class. It's a little bit more broken up.
Right.
And then we have our Ashtanga, Mysore Ashtanga program, and we have, we teach Iyengar there. So, and as I said yesterday, the vinyasa is a little bit of everything thrown into the pot,
Combine that. Okay.
combined. Yes.
I think we're doing very good, very well for time. We have 5 whole minutes, so I
Wow.
think we should indulge. We should indulge.
Unlike yesterday, when we were like,
Well, because I did have a few other questions for you, and after
Sure.
that, hyped as I am, if there are more stretches, you feel free to get me into those. But I think my questions would probably take up most of those time at that time. Are there other styles that you offer at Yoga Sutra?
not at Yoga Sutra. Well, actually,
you
I
teach
take
at
that
other
back.
schools too.
Yeah, we're going to. It's not set up yet, but we're going to start a program of aerial yoga. Oh, and I'm really remiss because one of the reasons that we moved to our new bigger studio
Yeah, I know.
was to put in a hot yoga studio.
Ah, okay.
So there have been a lot of hot.
You've opened up a
practices.
Pandora's box.
I know.
Okay, now I'm
Do
getting
I
excited.
dare?
No,
Let me
no,
just-
no. Go
oh,
on.
yeah.
Go on.
Some people will say it's not even yoga; it should be just called hot practice. Blah blah blah. But we hope to make it. How should I say? We hope to really perfect the hot yoga practice. It's a little controversial. Some people say it's not right. Some people absolutely love it. I just took a hot class yesterday, and I loved it. We don't have this particular studio, one of our studios is very hot. We keep it at about 98 degrees.
Not hot enough.
Actually, it was the same as outside.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
But it does get warm, and you sweat. The sequencing that we are developing there, that we are teaching there, is very safe and very conducive to practicing in the heat. And you get a marvelous you get a feeling of openness that you just don't get, I think, in the other.
I think the timing is perfect too with winter coming. I think people
Yes.
will be happy to be in that nice warm room.
It's like having a sauna and a
Right.
practice at the same. I'm really one for getting everything in. Again, with the vinyasa, the breath,
Right.
the
Oh, that'd be
movement.
good.
Yeah. So
I have to come and enjoy
yes,
that.
try it.
I
It's
should.
really it's a nice practice.
Folks at home, if you want to watch Jill in action in the hot studio, you really have to go visit her.
Well, you see me practicing. I'm not teaching it yet. But
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, okay. So we see you sweating,
see me
but
sweating.
not teaching yet. Okay.
You'd like to see
Whenever
me
you
sweat.
start teaching, let us know. Stay in touch with our viewers through our website. I will channel any
But there's
questions for
there's
you.
wonderful hot yoga teachers. It's a little bit different specialty. I'll say that.
I'm sure
Yeah.
there are good yoga teachers, but we want you to teach them.
Yes.
Jill, I had another question. I know you read a lot of books. You read a lot of yoga books. And are there any particular books that you're reading at the moment?
Yes,
Anything that you'd introduce us to?
I was actually reading on the bus over here. This is called, I don't know if the camera
Subtle Body.
The
Yeah.
Subtle Body by Stephanie Simon, The Story of Yoga in America. That's been my latest.
Bible.
Well, no, I would say my latest curiosity is where did yoga start here?
Right.
Or how did it start here? And prior to this, I read a book called The Great Om about a gentleman named from the U.S. Midwest named Pierre Bernard, who had the first Hatha Yoga studio in Manhattan, and I think it was 1910. Controversy, of course. Always,
I thought
but-
yoga in the U.S. started in Woodstock because a few weeks ago I went to Woodstock and I thought, okay, will I see any hippies here? It was interesting.
was it
Satchidananda.
Satchidananda gave the opening address at
Right.
Woodstock, and they sometimes mark that as the beginnings of yoga in U.S., but they're finding now, these are very, I don't want to say academic, they're good reads, they're not dry, but they're scholarly works insofar as they're unearthing
Right.
these facts that we didn't know. And again, really seeing how yoga, as it's practiced, I should say hatha yoga, the physical part of
Right,
yoga,
right.
has been evolving and morphing since.
It's interesting you mentioned hatha as the physical because in India we use the term the other way. They call, well actually no, you're right. Hatha is the, I'm sorry, in the many schools here in North America they actually think Ashtanga is the physical, but you actually mentioned it correctly. Hatha is the physical
Is the
side.
physical.
Because in India that's how we believe that hatha is the physical penance kind of yoga where it's very intense physically, but Ashtanga involves a lot of
Okay,
other
that's a wrap.
aspects. I'm going to keep talking, but thank you, Claudia. But we actually believe, and